So at Hi Rasmus, we have a very firm understanding that this industry exists in an ecosystem. And in an ecosystem, you need different tools that have different specialties. And we don't claim to excel and be the best at everything, but we know that we are the best at the clinical side of practice and supporting that. So very early on, we took a decision to be open to integrating with partners that excel and are the best of breed in other areas. So let's take billing, for example. We've found partners that excel on the billing side, provide really comprehensive reporting. Those partners have helped us equip organizations to be able to provide services at scale.
We've worked really hard with Hi Rasmus to create an integration with Lumary, which is a practice management software, to create a really good customer experience for our joint users. The things that were important to us as we went about planning it were what makes the BCBAs and the RBTs happy to use it. Do they have to log into lots of systems or just one? What is important to them as far as running their sessions? And then what is captured in our software that is required for insurance payers to actually pay for the sessions that are delivered. So the integration points are quite important. When a schedule is built in Lumary, then the schedule, it flows to Hi Rasmus. The BCBA or the RBT logs into Hi Rasmus, they see their schedule there. If a cancellation happens or something changes on the appointment, that change in Lumary also flows through into Hi Rasmus so that the BCBA or RBT just has to log into Hi Rasmus and see what they have on for the day or what has changed. Then they run their sessions and they complete their sessions and do their documentation, their session notes. And then when they complete that session, it flows back into Lumary with all of the documentation, all of the notes that are needed about the session, about the client, about supervision, who was there, so that all flows into our billing modules so that when claims are submitted to payers, that everything is tightly there, documented, so that there are no denials that come back from them. So that's really important, piece number one. The second piece that's important in the integration is who are all of the people in an organization. You've got the clients, so client intake happens in Lumary, and we manage all of the employees that work at an ABA practice inside Lumary, but all of that data flows into Hi Rasmus so that all of the people working with each other in a session kind of stay tightly in track. So when there's a change of something in Lumary, it gets updated in Hi Rasmus, and it all flows and keeps the information in sync the entire time.
The Hi Rasmus and Lumary integration is just dreamy for us. It's our business is run on Lumary and our clinical operations are run on Hi Rasmus. And the ability for the two systems to talk to each other and have data go back and forth has really made our administrative and back office teams' lives much easier as well.
We worked with Lumary very similar to our philosophy in working with Hi Rasmus. We're partners. There's a lot of whiteboarding and brainstorming, and wouldn't this be great if we could all do it this way? To the point of intake, pre-authorization of services sits there. We're able to really manage the process flow and understand where the bottlenecks might be proactively, moving then into treatment. It's all sitting in the same place. Everyone becomes an expert in using that system of choice. Our scheduling modules are improving night and day from when we first started. It allows us to use some predictive modeling. It allows us to make sure that we are matching the absolute right client teams with the right clients. So again, looking at how is it that we can set everyone up for success for the best outcomes. And then our billing module is incredible. We really have enjoyed, so start to finish, end to end, intake all the way to making sure that we're collecting the cash that we should be collecting, and everything connects so that there truly is no surprises.
And what works really well for me is reporting and analytics that come out of it. So we get, business intelligence reporting in the Lumary system, which allows us to not have to layer on top another, Power BI or Tableau or, another business intelligence data system on top. We're looking at, number of billable sessions per day, per center, number of sessions in home versus school versus center, billable hours, cancellations, all of that literally is real time, available in very customizable templates that our team uses all the time.
The data's at your fingertips. rather than us having to spend time on the operations side creating Excel spreadsheets of everybody's performance metrics, the client progress metrics, et cetera. Like now it's right there in a report. And we do that with staff performance. Like I've created fidelity checklists in the system. We've just moved our RBT onboarding into the system where you can upload training videos, which is really cool. Assignments that they can click into, like you upload the document, they're able to review that slideshow if they need to. Links to Google Forms to do competency. Their training checklists are in there, and they all populate into a report template that I set up so I can check their performance weekly for meeting their probation metrics, because we don't do a longevity probation. We do it based on passing performance check marks, including becoming an RBT and passing their competencies, et cetera.
It's basically limitless. It's one of the most powerful reporting platforms you can find because it's built on Salesforce. A couple of different dashboards that we built out for our team is My Scorecard, which is what each individual contributor uses to measure their performance. And we have a quarterly bonus system. So basically they have real-time access to how they're doing. So I think everybody here is familiar with billables. Consultants have a billability percentage target. RBTs have a billability percentage target. And we use Lumary to report on that in real time. We show them forecasted hours for the quarter, show them actual hours. So we have a forecast versus actuals. So they have a real pulse on, okay, where am I going to hit for this quarter so I can know what sort of bonus I'm going to get. And then the second dashboard is a clinical treatment dashboard. And so what we do is we have things like employee cancellations, client cancellations, so we can dig into who's canceling, where, how often, and have those conversations.
It syncs perfectly, but our technicians don't know anything about Lumary. That's not part of what they need to know, but their schedule just still shows up in their Hi Rasmus account, easy for them to use. They can log drive time, they can log wait time, break time, all of that still within the Hi Rasmus system. I love the dashboards on Lumary. I love the reports on Lumary. Everything is really visually, it's just easy to see very quickly at your fingertips, so I can very quickly even measure, typically the things we're looking at are different hours, different types of locations of services, comparing offices across each other. So the dashboards that can be created are very informative, and you just press a button and all of the data pop up. So that's exciting. And not only the dashboards, but also being able to click into another report, and then you can dive into the weeds if you want to see more of the specifics and more of the data, or you can have a larger picture.
So our customers don't feel like they've purchased two systems from two different companies when they use them. Some users, when they're building schedules, they go and they do it in Lumary. When they're doing billing, they do it in Lumary. But there's clinical staff, they're only logging into Hi Rasmus. So it doesn't feel like any of them have to work heavily in two different systems. So it's a very clean experience. Say 95% of our customers have both Lumary and Hi Rasmus, and we get great feedback on how the integration works.
Those partnerships have helped us really meet the needs adequately of our customers without frustrating anybody or leaving the clinical side unattended, which often tends to happen. And historically, it has happened with organizations that tend to over-focus on, let's say, the billing side of things and leave clinical in the dust a bit.